This video is entitled Maintenance, Parts File, Parts Listing Detail Overview. When you select a part from the parts list and either click the Edit button or double click on the green field, the program will display the parts listing detail form. So if I'm sitting here and I have a part selected, if I click the Edit button or the View button will take me to the same place, it will open up the parts listing detail. I can also get there by double clicking on the green surface around a part detail. So if I just double clicked here, it would take me into the listing detail, parts listing detail. And this video is going to describe just the overall version of the parts listing detail. Each one of the other sections, there'll be a video on general, there'll be a video on labor values, and there'll be a video on marked material prices, because there's a lot more detail, and rather than make one huge video, we're breaking this down. The form contains the complete data set for each part in the parts file. The information is spread across the 3 pages accessed by the tabs across the top of the page that we just talked about. The toolbar at the bottom of the page contains the following controls when in the view mode. So let's go ahead and close this so that we're in the view mode. In the view mode, the 2 navigation arrows on the left hand side will move me from one part to another. As you can see, I can click through here and review the status of a lot of different parts all at one time. The edit button will put the form into edit mode and enable all the fields so that I can change them. And the close button will close the form and return me to the bid list. If I put this back in edit mode, the 2 navigation buttons are gone until I finish edit mode. I have now a delete button that I can use to delete this part if I want to delete it. And it should be noted that if you delete the part, there's no oops, I made a mistake button. It'll be deleted forever and you'll have to recreate it. The clone button is a very interesting button because it is used to completely duplicate the same part that you're looking at. And the reason for having this is if you were, for example, a conduit would probably be a good example. And although we have 8 labor units for each part in the database, maybe the labor units are significantly different, that you want to have a part for installing the conduit on a surface and a part for installing the conduit embedded in a concrete wall or a block wall or a sheetrock wall or something like that. There's enough of a difference that the part is the same part. You want to update the material price the same way, but you want to have a different group of labor hours for it because of the way that part is used in an assembly. So that's the reason for cloning a part. And when you clone a part, there's one thing that you need to do is you need to find out a part number that you can use on it. If you come in here and you have not verified, again, this is a good reason for having a printout of your parts file, is so that you can see what part number you can assign to it. Sometimes you can just add the letter A to the part number, and that would be sufficient if that part number, if you didn't already have a part number with a letter A on it. So that would be sufficient. Then you would click the OK button after you've made the changes to the labor hours. I'm not going to add a new part to my database. I didn't plan on cloning something, so we'll just go ahead and leave that alone. So the next button on this section is the Save button. The Save button would save the changes, and the Cancel button would cancel the changes that you're going to make. And that'll be that's the end of the concludes the maintenance, parts file, parts listing detail overview video, and we'll have the other videos shortly.